Hello and welcome to this week's edition of the Bulldog Blitz. I'm Scott Bridge. The Butler softball team is entering the last month of their season. Mallory Winters has more on one of the team's key contributors, senior first baseman Erin Falconberry.
At first glance, Erin Falconberry is your typical college athlete. She does homework, goofs with teammates, and practices like anyone else. But there is much more to her story than meets the eye. Erin was adopted from a village in Vietnam by Dick and Mary Falconberry when she was 4 years old. In a new country, with a new family, living a new life, Erin describes some of her earliest memories of life in America.
My mom made a big plate of eggs, set it out in front of me. I ate it all, so they thought I was still hungry. So then they filled the plate up again, ate all of that, and this happened probably 3 or 4 times. Then my parents realized that if they're going to set food in front of me, I'm going to eat it because, you know, in Vietnam, we make sure to eat all of our food.
The process of adoption was not easy for Erin, spending some time in foster homes and an orphanage. For the Falconberrys, the process was even longer.
For my parents, it took a little while. My mom and dad were actually going to adopt somebody else from a different country, and I was actually supposed to go to a different family. Then my mom and dad were actually showing my picture, and then they decided to adopt me. So for I don't know exactly how long, they would just be sending me pictures and going through all the protocol for adoption.
Butler softball coach Scott Hall coached Erin at Pendleton Heights High School. He says the Falconberrys are just good people.
They are probably the most giving parents that I've ever come across in my years of coaching. They're very supportive, not just of their daughter, but of the entire program, no matter where she's at, whether it was at Pendleton Heights or Butler. So they hold a special place in my heart.
Junior Kayla Seedborg Gray has known and played with Erin since high school. She says that Erin's story is really something special.
Just that she's here just amazes me. To think about her story sometimes, you know, it can't be not romantic. And her parents are just awesome. I think she couldn't have ended up with a better family. And to hear about the stories from Vietnam it's just awesome.
Last season, Erin became Butler's career home run leader, hitting her 32nd home run. Rounding the bases for the Butler Bulldogs is a long way from an orphanage in Vietnam.
I'm joined in the studio today by assistant coach Megan Slack and Butler first baseman Erin Falconberry. First of all, thank you both for coming to the show today.
Thank you for having us.
What's your assessment on how the season's going so far?
You know, we had a rough start. I think we are finally starting to build. The camaraderie is coming back, and we're starting to win and put some good scores up on the board. And I think that we are very fortunate to be, you know, tied for 3rd right now in the Horizon League, and I see us getting stronger.
Now, let's talk for just a second about the beginning of the season, because you guys scheduled some really tough competition. How has that rough schedule helped determine how you are at this point in the season?
You know, the one thing when we first started putting that schedule together, you're not gonna be the best if you don't play the best. And I think we learned a lot about ourselves. The girls learned a lot about themselves as a team. We learned a lot about ourselves as coaches. And I think getting to this point, you know, a lot of those teams that we play in the Horizon League are not going to be, I mean, they're good, don't get me wrong, but you're playing Cal, who's #1 in the nation, and Oregon, who's top 10, so.
Erin, what do you think so far this season?
You know, like Coach said, we started off really rough, but I think we learned a lot from Cal in our previous trips before spring break, that what we needed to work on, and especially after our spring break trip, I think we really focused on those aspects, and I think we're really starting to show what we're really capable of. Okay,
and you both have mentioned that you learned a lot. Be a little bit more specific. What exactly did you learn from your experiences at the beginning of the season?
Well, especially in California, we played the top teams, faced the best pitchers in the nation, and so, I don't know, just facing those girls and then coming back to facing girls that aren't, the caliber is just not as high. I think we learned to be more disciplined. We learned that we can hit the really good pitching. So I think we learned that we have quite a bit of confidence now, I think, when we're up at the plate, or more confidence than we did before.
You only have a few weeks left to go of your Butler career. So talk about when you came here as a freshman to where you are now as a senior and the all-time home run leader.
When I came as a freshman, I just wanted a chance to play. You know, I wasn't out here setting or looking to set records or do any of that. I just wanted to play softball in a D1 school, and especially at Butler, which I had loved the school to begin with, even in high school. So I think freshman, I was just really naive, just really excited to play and just looking for any chance to, you know, help the team out. I guess as the years have progressed, I've learned more a leadership role, more like I know I can be an impact on the team, so I need to focus more on what my specific roles on the team are instead of just getting out there and doing whatever just to be in the game. So
yeah, how do you feel about taking more of a leadership role, more of a mentoring role on the team?
I'm not a big speaker, so it's been a little difficult, but you know, the girls are so awesome and they're really easy to talk to and really respectful of everybody on our team, so they make it really easy to go up and be like, hey, you know, maybe you should work on this. So I've learned a lot to be leader, especially from my other senior teammates who are great leaders. So for me, it's a little harder, but I think I'm doing okay.
One of the interesting things about this year's team is all of the senior leaders that you have. I think 6 or 7 seniors on the team, but you've also got some key contributors who are freshmen too. Talk about, Coach Slack, talk about blending those together and what a challenge that has been for you guys.
It's definitely been a challenge, but our seniors have stepped up. When our freshmen first came in, our seniors decided that we wanted to have buddies. So each one of our seniors is paired up with one of our freshmen. So for them to come in and kind of have an upperclassman to look to talk to when they have problems, you know, classes and that kind of thing, it's been very helpful. I know the freshmen have started, you know, at the beginning of the season it was kind of rough, but I think they're really starting to mesh very well.
Is this something that you and Coach Hall have made a conscious effort to do? Actually,
the girls did this. The girls did the teaming up and the buddying with the freshmen, and I think it kind of helps when we have about 2 or 3 communication majors and they decided that they wanted to do it. So,
what was the impetus for deciding you wanted to do this?
When we came in as freshmen, the upperclassmen really took us under their wings and really took care of us, and so we wanted to be that same, you know, role model to them, to our freshmen. And actually, one of the seniors when I was a freshman, Alex Boros, her little sister, Kristen Boros, is now a freshman, and Alex and I are really great friends. We still hang out quite a bit. So I wanted to be that same impact that Alex was on me to Kristen. And I think all of us were just really appreciative of our upperclassmen when we came in and really like showed us the ways and really didn't look at us as freshmen, but just as other teammates. And that's what we wanted to do also. You
guys have some key games coming up in the Horizon League, and I'm not sure if anyone expected Valparaiso to get off to the start that they've gotten off to this year. Everyone was kind of looking at you guys and UIC. So talk about some of the unexpected things that have been going on in the league this year and what you guys have to do in the remaining weeks.
Youngstown was definitely a top team. Last year they struggled. Of course, they were our first conference series weekend. We lost 2 out of the 3. So of course those were heartbreaking losses because both of them were by one or two runs. So they're up there with us, tied for 3rd. You've got, I mean, last year it was UIC and Loyola UIC was just rolling, and this year Loyola just took 2 from them. So I mean, right now it's anybody's game. And Valpo coming out the way that they did and having kind of the same setup that we had in our spring season, it's kind of, we're excited to play them. You know, we're just getting to the peak of our play, and we're very excited to take them on, and hopefully we bring home 3 wins.
Yeah, could you talk about that for a second, how you get a team to peak at the right time? Because I think a lot of people underestimate how difficult that can be.
I think for us this year, I think sometimes you have to hit rock bottom to be able to start to build your confidence and build yourself and help build your teammates up. And I think our rock bottom was probably spring break. And I hate to say that, but you know, like I said, you're not going to be the best if you don't play the best. And for us to be able to go out there, I think, and we've been able to build and build as the season's gone on. We've definitely gotten stronger. Our hitting's coming around. Our entire pitching staff is doing very well, so we're starting to play the game that we need to be playing.
Erin, what do you guys need to do in these last few weeks to move up in the conference standings?
I think we just need to keep executing. We can't rely on just our pitchers to keep us in the games, but you know, our defense needs to be solid, our hitting needs to be solid, even if we're not, you know, just executing little things like bunts and hit and runs and stuff like that. I think it's just the key component for us to keep building is just executing all the things that we know how to do.
One of the things I've noticed that's a lot of fun to watch about you guys is how aggressive you are, because you guys do hit and runs. You guys pull steals, sometimes double steals. Does that keep you guys on your toes a lot, always looking over to Coach Hall to see what kind of signals he's?
Well, yeah, Coach Hall, he goes through his signs so fast, so all of us we all have to be really focused on him, but we're not a quick team, so these hit and runs and double steals are just little things to help us take an advantage on the bases. So
they're really crucial, to be honest.
Yeah. All right, one of the questions I've always wanted to ask is, how do you guys pick the walk-up songs that play over the stadium PA when you guys go up to the plate? Because you each have your own songs.
Yeah, we don't really know.
Do you guys switch songs? I mean, you're a senior, so
yeah.
have you picked a different song every year?
Yeah, every year we pick different songs. It's just, I guess, what song we like that year. You know, one of our seniors, Lauren, every single year she tries to pick the most annoying songs that she can find.
Yep.
And then, you know, some girls take it really seriously and try to find songs that really mean something to them. But everybody has their own preference of what song and what type of song they choose. We don't really know.
Does anybody ever switch songs in the middle of a year if they're like in a slump?
One of our freshmen did. She just decided not to go with her first song. But usually a lot of us stick with the song that we choose with.
Okay. All right. Very good. Well, Megan Slack, Erin Falkenberry, thank you so much for being here, and good luck this season.
Thank you very much.
After the break, Austin Monteith will be in the studio with head baseball coach Steve Farley. Stay tuned.